calls on Aaliyah Boston. How do you navigate this quarter in terms of her playing time?
Yeah, we've really got to see how it goes. We need to try to buy her some time with Dee Dee on the floor, and we got to get her back in the game and go to her.
All right, thanks a lot, Steph. Always appreciate the time from Stephanie White, head coach of the Fever. Nice look inside. What a dish from Howard, and Duntis the hand.
Done beautifully there by Indiana.
Here's Wheeler. Off to Malunga. Wow. You see flashes of what the 19-year-old is capable of. The one-legged turnaround jumper.
And you just look at her frame, 6'6" and super long.
Cunningham connects on another three.
And because of the trap on the on-ball screen, when you move the ball, you heard Sophie Cunningham talk about it. Those looks will be there.
Good D there from Lexi Hall. And Stephanie White told us she just loved the way they have. Here's Clark. No. And Hall, the good box. Indiana, 9 assists on their 9 made field goals. Here's Duntis. Duntis maneuvering her way, couldn't quite slip it in. Rebound Clark. Here's Mitchell, nice hesitation, and then gets fouled as Tiffany Mitchell, the former member of the Fever, will shoot a pair.
Well, she saw that she had a 5
thing to remind our ABC audience when it comes to the WNBA. This offseason, all but 2 veterans are, I'm not sure all of us have really taken the proper focus to understand what a frenzy it is going to be when it comes to player movement this particular offseason, CBA pending.
Free agency is going to be incredible.
And a whistle here against Seattle. Their deals with the new CBA, expecting a big pop in salary. You also don't know whether or not there's still going to be a core to keep players with their respective franchises. Here's Malunga. Nice moves inside. And some impressive flashes here from Dominique Malunga.
And you see how much her confidence has grown throughout the course of the season. She stepped in and posted hard, demanded the basketball. That's half the battle.
Holly?
Well, she's getting more regular minutes earlier in the game, as we see today. And we talked to her coach, Noelle Quinn, about why. She said she's 19. We had to get her in a rhythm, whether it's weight room, workout, film study, preparation, and you understand their system. She's just had incredible plays on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively, in this last stretch.
And 19 years old, I mean, it's just so young. Just recently became the youngest player in the Turkish team. Coming up this offseason and shooting nearly 2 blocks per. Wheeler works around the hedge. Magbagora 3, that is way off. And it's out of bounds to Indiana. Operated by more than 4 points in this first half. Duntis fakes the 3 and drains the 2.
Tamiris Duntis, the last few games, the second she touches the basketball, her eye off, is just looking to be very aggressive offensively.
Gabby Williams, Skylar Diggins getting ready to check back in for Seattle. Mitchell, explosive drive, couldn't finish it. Lexi Hall is such a terrific rebounding guard. Knocked that to McDonald, who turns it into 2 with gas all the way to the cup.
Body to get Wheeler out of the way so that she could fling it in. The speed of Ari McDonald. She is
by the cheer here from the Seattle fans. I mean, one thing we know about this city, it has always been incredibly supportive of women's sports. We experienced that a couple of years ago. We're here when Caitlin Clark led Iowa to wins over Colorado and Louisville en route to her first Final Four. The atmosphere at the games here was just incredible. And it was interesting, Caitlin was actually on Rapinoe, their podcast, and she said she feels like that Louisville game when she had a 40-point triple-double was really kind of the game where her life changed and the attention on her really changed.
That's when the attention on all of women's basketball really started to change.
We actually organized Sue Bird to meet Caitlin Clark before that Louisville game.
Yes.
She had never met her before. We brought her in, surprised them at shoot-around. And so I think Sue Bird gets a little credit for Caitlin's, 40-point triple-double, because that was the day she got to meet her idol.
Before their Elite Eight matchup. Diggins gets denied, but a whistle, and there again, Skylar Diggins getting that whistle.
Howard right there trying to block her up top. The official saw some contact down.
From now through August 7th, enjoy a free League Pass preview and stream live games in the WNBA app with no subscription required. Scan the QR code to get the app. 30-26, Indiana leading Seattle. Here's McDonald bouncing out. Howard will try a three. No. And it tilts out of bounds. Climate Pledge on August 17th here in Seattle.
Incredible. Certainly deserving.
Yes. Here's Agumake. Oh, the footwork. Nika Agumake. Some beautiful ballet to the bucket. Mitchell can't get that to drop either. Kelsey Mitchell 0 for 7 from the floor. Here's Wheeler. Flipping it out. Nneka off. Mitchell zipping inside. Gets that one to drop, plus the foul. Kelsey Mitchell finally on the board. If you were Indiana and you said, hey, you don't have Caitlin Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell's not going to have a field goal till late in the second quarter. While Seattle hit its first attempt from three, that was Nneka. They have missed their last 6. Both of these teams 16 and 12. Nneka able to fend off Aaliyah Boston, who's playing with 2 fouls and had to be careful.
Smart, intentionally attacked the player with 2 fouls.
That's a travel from McDonald. First turnover of the second quarter.
There they go.
Right back to Nneka. Agumake muscling in, spinning, couldn't finish it with the left hand, and then grabbing at her right bicep a bit. McDonald slides it off a foot. Indiana being extra cautious. We heard Holly give the update last weekend how Stephanie White wants to make sure Caitlin Clark gets some real good practice time before she returns. And if you look at the calendar, that would be more likely to happen towards the back half of the month of August as Caitlin works her way back. But I thought it was interesting, Rebecca, having the conversation with Stephanie White about how they're playing now and how does so well when she gets back.
She talked about how fast the Fever play end to end when Caitlin is on the floor, and then when she's off the floor, how they move the ball, and you know how the ball finds its way back to the shooters. She also talked about the gravity that Caitlin has on the floor. Like, you can just run one action and you tilt the entire defense and get a good look. How you have to go to multiple sides and multiple actions, and how her team has gotten very good at that.
Holly?
Well, Stephanie White did give us a small update on Caitlin. The full speed running the last 4 or 5 days. Still not doing full basketball activities, but there has been some progress made recently.
Yeah, good to see that for sure, Holly. Thanks so much. As Boston, that's a tough bucket. Able to sneak it in around McBagor.
Game before Caitlin re-injured herself, and how good Indiana looked when Caitlin was on the court, and then in the minutes when she was on the bench as well. It felt like they were really bringing it together.
Yeah, everything was humming. Agumake can't hit the jumper. Wow. Tiffany Mitchell getting in there aggressively. And I mean, is a whistle going to blow? How is that not a foul? So Cunningham will jump it up with Mitchell. Terrific effort by Mitchell. And now it's going to a loose ball foul against Seattle. Indiana's in the bonus, so Seattle's. Cunningham, it's the first free throw. Sophie 2 for 2. Cunningham with those free throws matches the largest lead of the game for either team. It's 6. 10 points for Cunningham. Lob it inside, knocked away by McDonald.
We'll see some more movement. We saw some yesterday.
Yeah.
Was that this morning?
This morning, Dejanay Carrington on her way to Minnesota. Boy, do the Lynx look good. You just hope that Afisa Collier is okay. How about Mitchell picking the pocket? Forgot to take it with her. McDonald has it. Oh my! An unconventional highlight as Boston finishes it. Wild sequence. And it bears fruit at the end for the Fever. Mitchell, no. Off to Boston. And off Mitchell. 2-for-1 opportunity here for Indiana. Howard, great position, and lays it in, just able to shed Williams.
Also
able to come back in this game.
Yeah, as you guys talked about, the points in the paint, so a couple of rotations. Howard was super efficient. And that deflection was for the second half of this game. But I got to utilize our bench. Dom played some really good minutes, so hopefully we could get some good stuff out of her in the second half.
All right, Noe, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
certainly saw some nice bounce and just going right over Aaliyah Boston.
You brought it up before, though, and to Noe there. Double overtime game and then a day game today. Cunningham again. Sophie Cunningham, 3 for 3 from deep. 9-point Indiana lead. Wheeler had a poke from behind. She's given Brent and his hoodie a run for its money.
No, she doesn't hide the snacks.
That's
like
right.
Her dad did, though.
Right, her dad had the secret snack compartment.
The snack pouch.
Holly, you got a little something on the bounce back for Seattle after that double OT? Because Nneka, she looks just fine.
Did a film session and just a light walkthrough at 11 a.m. yesterday, but I thought it was interesting. Noelle Quinn told us that Skylar Diggins was here at 7 a.m. doing Pilates, so I don't think they're too tired, but she has been very judicious in her use of the bench and making sure she has that energy late in the game when they need it.
I mean, when you talk about work ethic and fitness, Skylar Diggins as good as it gets. As Williams rattles in the jumper. When you look at Nneka and Skylar, the shape that they maintain throughout the course of the season, all these years into their career, so impressive as McDonald spins it in, plus the foul, and Ari McDonald a chance for 3.
Where did she get to, Ryan? Out of Ari's house, she just got to her house.
You know, you set me up with a beautiful lob, and I just...
Whiff.
Just 10 points combined between Mitchell and Boston, and yet Indiana a 10-point lead. Diggins couldn't finish it. Out of bounds, going to stay here. Shooting 54% as a team. Diggins, great look. The block from Boston, and then the shot clock violation. But it looked like it had hit the rim, and that's what Nneka Ogwumike is saying. And then Wheeler gets wide open as Kelsey Mitchell got screened. And that's a bucket for Seattle that never should have existed. But they take advantage. Howard on the other end can't finish. Storm looking to push in transition. Wheeler into the corner, and Williams couldn't hang on.
See the
striking out Wheeler. Mitchell will fire. Still can't hit from 3. Kelsey Mitchell 0 for 5 from downtown. It's 50% from 3. Having an all WNBA type season. Had a great case to make one last season, got a lot of votes, but fell short. You would think she'd make it this season as Wheeler can't finish. Here comes McDonald, 5-on-4 developing. McDonald blasting to the bucket. A little too much on it. Magbagor now. Williams. Directing traffic, wants a screen, gets it from Magbagor, gets it back to her. Magbagor able to finish. Outstanding orchestration there from Gabby Williams, and Indiana needs a timeout.
Gabby Williams on the drop.
Just in case fans are wondering, well, you know, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul. In the pro game, in order for the shot clock to reset on a ball that hits the rim. In the pro game, just as 9-point Indiana lead. Howard has 15 points, 7 of 9 from the floor. Low pass, Mitchell digs it up, using her size on McDonald. Here's Magbagor leaving it short. Kelsey, but Indiana has been able to weather it thus far. Here's Cunningham, who has 13. Boston keeps it, dishes, knocked away out of bounds, 7 to shoot. Arnold leaves it short on the 3. Indiana just 3 for 14 from downtown. Knocked away by Howard into the lap of Kelsey Mitchell and Magbegor. And Mitchell hits the free throw. Does that get in? Would combine for that. You'd never think this would be the score. Cunningham again. Sophie Cunningham has tied her season high, 16 points, 4 of 4 from three-point range.
Fantastic.
The pony needed to be on point, and it is, most importantly. Joining Lenny Wilkins as the only immortalized on the logo there. Here. Such a great basketball area. Level. So many legendary careers beginning in the Pacific Northwest. Here's McDonald. Off to Hull. Shot clock at 3. Finds Howard. Her jumper. Sure.
That was a terrific defensive possession by Seattle and a way to get a decent look at the end of the shot clock.
17 for Howard. She is 8 for 10 from the floor. Poked away by Hull and out of bounds.
Possession, there wasn't a lot there. Malunga fronting, Aaliyah Boston making no pass, able to go into the post, and still great job by Howard. Flashes, catches at the free throw line and still drains it.
I mean, she just has a knack for spots on the floor, for being a scavenger on putbacks on the glass. Malunga off on a 3. McDonald falls in the rebound, pushing pace immediately for Indiana. Here's Cunningham, one more. Not that time. Knocked around, and Magbegor comes down with it. Malunga running the floor, trying to save it, and does. Mitchell lays it in. Here's Duntis. She provided some scoring off the bench in the first half. Catches it on the move and gets fouled on the pass.
Aaron McDonald a little
for Seattle. Duntis fakes the 3, the drive, the floater, too strong. Hull a 3, off. Howard trying to grab it, and it lands so often. Here's Malunga on the drive, laying it in with the left hand. Seeing that aspect of the repertoire from the 19-year-old. Stephanie White, as she looked at the way things are condensed in the standings and started to think about, is a 2-seed possible? Is a 3-seed possible? She said no, but the one thing she has focused on with her team is tiebreakers. It was important for them to get one against Vegas a little over a week ago, and now feeling like it's really important to lock that down here against Seattle. Colson couldn't hang on to it. Gabby Williams jumper ribs out. Cunningham able to hang on to the board and got fouled, so free throws here for you and I both, as we were flying here yesterday. We're watching Minnesota just absolutely thump been the MVP of the league up until this point.
Certainly one of Minnesota's best games of the year in terms of shooting the basketball from deep on one.
And a travel here, and Minnesota also making
probably their best performance of the season, but certainly adds some toughness, in particular on the defensive end of the floor at the wing position.
10-point Indiana lead as Colson tosses it too tall. A week from today, 12:30 Eastern on ABC, August 10th. First game was another exciting matchup between those teams. Williams with that mid-range jumper. Seattle has not really been able to claw close. Finish this third. Boston looking to take the rookie. Boston can't find anything there. Malunga the denial. Ogwumike stops and hits. It's a 6-point game.
Seattle cleared out the left side. Action.
They lose it on the screen. Diggins